So I am your regular everyday Amazon seller. I started in 2015. I consider myself a recovering physical therapist because I was doing that for so many years, and I absolutely woke up every day with dread, hating, just not enjoying my life pretty much. So I wanted a way out, and Amazon was that way. And in 2015, I have a cat, and I developed a bunch of products around my cat, and it was very simple and easy to do. But in 2016, we figured that working with sponsored products was the best way to get our products in front of as many eyeballs as possible. So we really started to dive into sponsored products, and that became kind of an obsession for many, many, many months. And I realized, well, this is great. I've got my freedom from the physical therapy job, but doing this is a huge pain in the ass. It was Excel spreadsheets at the time. It was like I was totally unorganized, hundreds of different campaigns. You know, we were doing really well. Back then in 2016, it wasn't as competitive as it is right now. It's definitely getting more competitive. But we wanted a way to simplify it, and that's where PPC Entourage was born. So basically, PPC Entourage allows you to do everything that we took like hours and hours to do. You could now do it in 10, 15 minutes a week. That's full optimization, autopilot mode we have. We have awesome ways to build campaigns, find new search terms, and we have a new tool for people who are using sponsored brands called Spotlight, which allows you to create up to 27 different headline search ads at once so that you can start to see which ones are going to work for you and then find the best keywords, find the best headlines, all different tools to help you maximize your exposure on Amazon and get the most for your ad spend.
Beautiful. So I've noticed recently that the product display ads are now slowly getting opened up in Seller Central. Do you think you guys will start going down that track soon?
Absolutely, yeah. So anything related to advertising whatsoever, we will go down that track. Yeah. We've had some pretty good luck, but with product display ads, I've had access to that for a couple of years now, and also with headline search ads on Vendor Central. And it requires a little bit more strategy, which I think is a good thing because a lot of people can be a little bit lazy. I know myself too at times, like just want to get stuff done. There's so many things to get done. So I think that's an advantage for sellers is to really dive into strategy. So we like to provide strategies for sellers for sponsored products, for headline search ad, and for product display ads so that they can make really good decisions and choices when they're setting these things up.
Yeah, I've been using them for a while on, I guess what was called AMS, and as soon as they released them on Seller Central, I was not happy. I hate those things. They're so difficult because if you're dealing with if you want to be on a certain competitor page or you want to go after a certain accessory, it's just constant testing all the time. And then you got to fluctuate the bids and everything, and it's just trying to figure out which ASIN you actually want to be on. It's such a pain to me. I definitely prefer the sponsored products and the sponsored brands now.
Yeah, there's a lot of gold there. But there's a lot of testing, and you got to be very patient with it. And it's like you got to go back. There's so many other things to think about. But I know that if you find a good golden nugget with that, you can really make it there, especially because there's less competition.
It seems more like a higher risk, higher reward to me. Like I've seen people lose hard, but I've seen people make some great money on product display ads. So the whole automated Amazon PPC thing, that is becoming an incredibly hot play to be in software. You all seem to pop up at the same time. So what kind of separates you from all the other ones out there, which we won't mention?
Yeah. So we've been around for a while. I know I think we were the second in the game way back in the day. So we've been around for a long time, and we've had a while to build the structure out. What sets us apart from everyone else is that we have the strategies. So basically our software is built around the blueprint. So in the blueprint, there's 5 different ways to optimize. And in the software, you'll see all different 5 tabs. So you can easily go in and see, okay, which way do I want to optimize today? Is it keyword optimization? Is it search term optimization? Is it negative word finder where you're finding the individual words where you can do a negative phrase? It's listed out in the blueprint, and you follow that, and then it takes seconds to do it if you follow the software because you know exactly the strategy, and the software will support that. So that is the biggest thing. Plus, I really think our autopilot is badass. We have an autopilot mode. Basically, it's for manual and automatic campaigns, and we have seasonality, we have day parting, we have advanced keyword features, so you can get as granular as you want. We had a bunch of advanced sellers come up to us and say, hey guys, there's a bunch of features here that we really need because this is what we do. We know what we're doing. We know our numbers. We know our metrics, but you don't have these particular things. And that was like looking at 15 days worth of data instead of 90 days worth of data, because we were going based on 90 days. So now we have these more advanced features. Whether you're a rookie and you're just starting out, you can follow some of the stuff that we have, like a boot camp, follow some of the basic stuff. Or if you really know what you're doing, you can get in there and go really, really granular and set up your campaigns for success based on proven metrics that you know work. So that is my more than 30-second pitch on why we are better than the competition. But I'm sure they're great too. I actually tend not to look at the competition. That's my own strategy, because I'm a seller myself, and Entourage was born on frustrations that I had as a seller. So I do every single thing, and we have a team now. We basically go in and say, okay, how can this be better? How can we make this run smoother? How can we make this faster? How can we make sellers spend less on ad spend and get more exposure to their product? And we feel like just by doing it and implementing on our software, we have that edge. We're just like everybody else in that sense.
Nice. So how deep do the analytics actually go? Like what kind of, obviously I'm sure we can get the standard stuff that Amazon gives you, but what other kind of analytics can a seller pull from the back end of your software?
Sure. So we have advanced analytics. We have something called the branding report, which shows you how much it costs per 1,000 impressions on PPC. We have sales by days of the week. So let's say, you notice that you're doing really, really crappy on Tuesday or Thursday, then you may want to start doing some of the autopilot, like the day parting that we have. And we're testing that out right now. We're noticing that like certain days of the week are better than others. So on days of the week that aren't good, or maybe our average cost per click is a little bit higher, we'll turn on the autopilot, the day parting feature, which means it's going to start a little bit later. We actually tell the system when to put on that ad. So you can start to make better decisions based on knowing how it's performing days of the week. We have a relevancy score, so you can see how your relevancy is doing over a period of time, which is super important to Amazon's algorithm. Basically looking at the click-through rate percentage. We have a bunch of things that are slipping my mind right now, but it's in the second tab, advanced reporting. And then you can dive really deep into each individual campaign, because obviously you want to go granular into each individual campaign and dive a little bit, dig a little bit deeper. All of these things like the standard cost per click, standard metrics, all that kind of stuff, but over a long period of time. And then we're introducing a bunch of other metrics as well, like how many clicks it takes to get a sale. And if you know that, then you can know certain other things and you can make better decisions. So all of that stuff is constantly being unraveled and released over a period of time.
Nice. So does your software tend to lean towards a certain type of seller, like private label or reseller or anything like that? Or do you guys seem to be pretty agnostic for the most part?
We tend to lean towards private label sellers. Most of our clients are private label sellers, but anybody could use it who uses Amazon sponsored products.
Okay. So why the private label sellers? Is it just like primarily having just that extra margin to play with?
Yeah, it's people who tend to use sponsored products the most, and I feel like private label sellers use that a lot. So that's who we go after. That's who we target. There's a little bit more margin to play with. People are different in their approach. We tend to stay at our margins are about 40%. So we try to stay around 35%. Some people tend to go a little bit higher. Some people tend to go a little bit lower. But that's typically why.
Okay. So in the never-ending argument, do you suggest to basically break even on PPC and benefit organic, or do you suggest to try to remain profitable on PPC? I know that every business is different, but what is usually your approach?
Okay, so my approach is to break even on PPC. Now, if you ask my business partner, he would be like, no, we need to make at least a little bit of profit. It's at least for us, it's a little bit of profit to break even. If it starts to get more than that, then it starts to impact our cash flow, which is never a good thing because we're super aggressive on PPC. Like we spend thousands of dollars a month on PPC. So we also have products that are that we would definitely even go a little bit higher on our ACOS. So we would even dip into like 50% because we know people are going to come in and buy that product every single month. It's on subscribe and save. That's your cat. I have the exact same cat, I think. Yeah.
Cat?
Your cat's behind you, isn't he? Oh, it's a dog. Never mind.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, sorry about that. Yeah, so we at least try to break even. We do see a correlation between going really aggressive on PPC and getting the organic visibility and the organic rank. However, for us, since we spend so much, if we start to get above that 40%, it's really, really just not good. So it's a game of constantly finding what's working, what's not working, updating your bids, doing negatives on things that are getting too expensive. The average cost per clicks are going up. So in time, certain things that worked in the past, like back in the day for our main product, we used to spend about 50 to 60 cents per click. Now it's like $2.40. So it's like a 50% ACOS, and we can scale it all day. Yeah, we could scale it all day, but we would lose money basically in every single sale. So it's that position where it is like, okay, you're losing a certain percentage of money on every single sale, whereas it used to be profitable years ago. How aggressive do you want to be? Do you want to allocate a certain amount of budget towards that? And I just got a phone call. Sorry about that, guys.
No,
so do you want to allocate a certain budget towards that and be like, okay, I'm willing to lose a little bit of money on this percentage of my ad spend? Okay, that's not a big deal. Or do you want to go all in just for organic ranking? That could become very expensive. So, if you have deep pockets, that's a good idea. But it is becoming more expensive on certain keywords. So that's why it's super important, we always felt, to dive into the search term report, to really dive deep into the search term report, to find some of the hidden gems, find some of the ones that have like 4, 5, 6 sales at a profitable ACOS, but a much lower cost per click, and then bid on those and uncap those. Basically, like uncap your budgets, uncap your bids, basically tell Amazon you are interested in this right now, any time of the day, doesn't matter. So that's been part of our strategy, and we call that the ACOS scraping technique. Basically, we're scraping the search terms based on the ACOS.
Okay. So I'm definitely Team Mike on that decision. For sticking. I agree to aim for a break even on PPC. But so with the break even to PPC, like I know that there's obviously differences for different sellers. There's different categories, different businesses. Everyone's different. So sometimes that's not always the right answer. That's just kind of my standard. But does your software have the ability to target a specific ACOS for a specific product or a specific category?
Hey, I'm back. Yes. Can you see me? Okay. Yeah. So you said about targeting a specific ACOS. So the way it's broken down,
can you target a specific ACOS to a specific product or a specific category?
Well, it's a specific. So basically, it's by campaign. So the way you would do it, and I would assume that you probably have the campaigns broken down by products, unless they're very similar and they're in the same campaign. But with the way we have it is that you enter in your profit margins, and our software can tell you you're entering your cost of goods, and our software can tell you how much money you're making overall on your PPC. But then on an individual campaign level, like let's say it's a research campaign, and you want to break even on your research campaign, but you have what we call the PE campaign, which is like a profitable campaign. You want to make money on that campaign. You can set the target ACOSs to, let's say, 40 on the research, which would be break even, or 31, 32% on the profitable campaign. So this way, our system and software it's going to go through those 5 different ways to optimize, and it's going to say, based on your target ACOS, here's what we recommend doing. These search terms, they suck. These keywords, you need to lower the bid prices. These negative words, individual words, you've never had a sale that's profitable basically based on what your information you're giving us. You want to be at a 40 ACOS, you have to consider doing a negative phrase. So yeah, on an individual campaign level, we have what's called a target ACOS, and you set the target ACOS, and the software will dictate what the software will tell you, and then you can make changes according to that target ACOS, or you can set up autopilot and it will make the changes for you based on the amount of time that we look back. We can look back 90 days, 60 days, 45 days, or it's 90 days, 60, 45, or 15 days. 30, 15. Yeah, the whole range.
Mike, really appreciate you doing this with me. Don't want to take up any more of your Friday. I'll let you go enjoy your day. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I'll let you give us some closing words, let everyone know where they can find more information about PPC Entourage.
Absolutely, guys, and thanks for sticking with me here. I know this is like a close-up for me, Facebook Live. Here we go. You can find me on ppcentourage.com. Also, we have a Facebook group, a PPC Entourage VIP community. And also email me at mike@ppcentourage.com. We have a blueprint that's really awesome for sponsored branding ads that is really, really getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are loving that. And it's like a step-by-step blueprint on how to set up 3 different types of sponsored branding ads. So come and find me. I'll give that to you. It's very thorough. And we'd love to hear about your success. So, Andrew, thank you so much for having me on. Happy Friday, everybody. And thank you so much for this amazing first Instagram live experience. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Enjoy your Friday. Have a good one.